Hey, I'm excited today because we get to talk to my friend Cindy. And how many times, guys, have we talked to people and they say, yeah, I've been researching this for years, or I'm not quite sure I want to do this. And it is so tough to get started. If you're one of those guys, you'll want to hear, or girls, you're going to want to hear what Cindy has to say, because this is her story and she is picking up her new 400 today.
So
my new used.
Yeah. So
your new used 400. That's true. But nobody cares if it's new or used.
New to you.
Yeah, new to me. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a consignment store, doesn't it?
So basically, Cindy, you're here because girls just want to have fun?
Absolutely.
Everybody just wants to have fun. So y'all stay tuned. It's going to be fun.
Welcome to the RV Small Talk podcast, where we talk about tiny trailers, truck campers, and the people, places, and adventures that go right along with them. We are your hosts from Princess Craft RV. I am Clint.
I'm PJ.
And I can't wait for lunch.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi.
Don't forget that you can check out show notes for this and other episodes of the podcast at rvsmalltalk.com. Wherever you're listening to our podcast, particularly if it's Apple Podcasts, please go ahead and subscribe, rate, and review. It does help us to get the word out that the podcast is alive, well, and still releasing. Mm-hmm. And, we also have social media. Just look up RV Small Talk Podcast. We'll pop up. And we're on YouTube. You can actually watch these episodes on video because we're just so gosh darn pretty and people like us.
Are we? Really?
You got to have a positive mindset.
Cindy is laughing her you-know-what off about now.
Well, she's sitting next to me. I get that. But humorous can be pretty. Okay. At least I tell myself that. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving
All right,
on.
Clint, stop talking because I want to mention the Texas Tiny Trailer Rally. If you have a trailer, it doesn't have to be tiny. You didn't have to buy it from us.
Does it have to be a trailer?
Not really. To bring your butts to the Texas Tiny Trailer Rally. Google search Texas Tiny Trailer Rally to figure out when the next rally is, where it is. I believe the next one is in Bandera, Texas. It's so much fun. We do tech talk. We do trailer tours. We have live music. We have beer and wine tasting. And it's just a really great place to meet some fellow campers, get some advice, hang out, learn some things, and have some fun.
Especially if you're new to camping, because that's what we're talking about today is how to dive in, how to get started, what it's like, and have a little fun with that. But I think, the Tiny Trailer Rally is a great place to jump off because you've got all kinds of people to help you and all kinds of learning tools.
Boy, do they want to help.
And they love to help you.
They really want to have the answer.
You will be like, okay, do I ever get a moment to myself? So yeah, it's just a great place to get your feet wet.
If you're getting your camper today, don't wait till then. You can camp before then.
Yes,
but you might write down your questions and have them answered then. I don't know.
Texas Tiny Trailer Rally. It's free. It's a free rally.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. Cindy, are you coming?
When is it?
I just put you on the spot, didn't I? It's September 29th.
Well, I went to the last one.
That's true.
Without a camper.
That's right.
We do have a handful of people who come to the rally without a camper because they want to figure out what's the right camper for them, talk to all of the people who own them, and see what it's like. So you're welcome to do that as well.
Well, I was so graciously allowed to stay in one of PJ's campers, and it was eye-opening.
Yeah.
Deluxe.
Yeah, eye-opening deluxe. I think that's a good description. But we brought you in. You were very kind to come and help us. So just getting all the logistics done when you have, 100 plus trailers there. So we had probably over 200 people that we had to talk to and check out the parts that they wanted to buy from us because we set up a little parts thing. We also, we have a dance, we have a band, we have to feed ourselves. I mean, all of that is just a project to keep everybody organized. So yeah, you came in and helped us. It was fun.
And I have to say that with your little tour, it's so much different than going in a showroom where you just see this pristine unit. But when you get to go see one that is actually being used and what people have done with it, and that's where I decided the trailer that I wanted was after seeing a 400.
Because you could see all the different ones.
All
and
the
compare
options
them.
in one place.
Well, we will talk about that when we talk about your journey. But yeah, y'all come. It's fun.
Let's rewind.
Rewind.
Is that what it sounds like when people rewind?
I think, yeah, that's what
I
SNL skits would do, right? Okay, anyways. I digress. Who's Cindy? That's how far we just rewound.
There she is.
We need some backstory.
Introducing.
Yeah.
We need some more
Who
backstory.
the heck are you,
than-
Cindy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Can I go all the way back? When I was 2 years old,
Oh, man, that was a long time.
Wow.
it was. When I was 2 years old, but that is really where it started, right?
Okay.
When you were 2?
When I was two,
Cindy is surprised by
our
this fact.
family, yes. It'll all come together. Kimmy, have a sec.
okay.
Our family moved to Houston, and we bought a house on a piece of land that was previously owned by the neighbors because they had bought
Botten. That's
Botten
okay.
is not a word.
It is in Texas.
They
Go
had
ahead.
purchased a few lots. We bought from them, and they became my parents' best friends and our family's best friends. And they happened to have a daughter that was 2 months younger than me. Mm-hmm. And we
Is it
became.
Cindy? I bet it's
wasn't
Cindy.
me.
And
No,
it
it
was
wasn't Cindy.
not Cindy.
Oh.
So Linda and I became best friends at 2 years old.
Oh,
Okay.
Linda.
All right.
Yes.
Bestie for the resty.
Yeah, and so years later, Linda's brother, and so these guys were like family. They were such good family friends that when we decided to move, they moved next to us.
Well, that's just adorable.
I know we both had to move together.
All right.
So
Really? You
crazy.
guys moved
Speed it up
together
to
in
Cindy.
Houston, huh?
In Houston, we
was it
both changed neighborhoods.
How would you describe
together.
this? A tribe, a clan, just a mobile
I don't
compound?
know.
Cult.
A couple of crazy families stuck together. So they remained best friends until the end. And so Linda and I, of course, now are older. And through the years, her brother, Scott, married Cindy. And Cindy became part of our
Cindy?
extended family.
Listen.
Oh, hey,
This
Cindy.
Cindy.
Welcome to the family.
So,
Oh, my God, our lunch is here already.
oh my gosh.
I know.
Oh my gosh, our lunch is here.
We did not plan this well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking that when y'all were ordering, but I just let it happen.
It's good. Hey guys, we ordered salads. They're not going to go bad.
It's true.
All right.
They're not.
No,
It's not like a cold
that's not
hamburger.
that's not what Lindsay ordered for me.
That's true. He got mac and cheese.
That's right.
It's going to be tepid warm.
We
It
have
can
a
go
microwave.
in the microwave.
All right. Are y'all still with us?
Not now that the food's here.
now.
Hell no.
Okay, so that brought Cindy into
Into
the
the
fold.
picture.
And it was so weird because Cindy lives in Santa Fe, and I would
That
go.
is weird.
No.
That is the weirdest.
No, but when I would, what's weird is I would only see her occasionally. Oh my gosh. How do, yeah. So I'd go visit and she'd say, oh, yeah, I see PJ all the time. I watch the videos and I'm like, oh, this is strange. Nobody in my family watches those. They're like,
My kids watch them all the time. They go, nah,
no, they don't.
Yeah, they
no,
do.
they don't.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so Cindy starts watching videos, right? Just
trailers,
like
yeah.
lots of people. So from there, Cindy needs to take the rest of this because that's the backstory.
So when did you start thinking, I want a camper? Was it like when you were a kid? Like I like camping, or like very recently, like last few months?
Oh, no, it was somewhere in between there.
That's a big
I did grow up camping a lot.
okay.
What'd
my
you camp
family
in when you
always-
were growing up?
A big
Shorts and t-shirt.
tent.
A big tent.
Shorts and a t-shirt.
Big tent.
Mostly my pajamas. A big tent.
Flip-flops.
A big tent. We had a VW microbus, the big one, with the
Shut up. What
canvas,
color was it?
red and black. The
Ladybug.
iconic. Yeah. And
We had the tan VW bus.
Ew, ugly.
The camper.
Look, this one came off the
VW
factory
camper.
floor, already sun faded.
Yeah. Well, that was popular back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Brown was the color, guys.
That's exactly the color I remember from all the old movies. So they just, it was the thing.
Tan and beige and
All those
brown
old movies
and
were actually
avocado
color,
green,
but that's all the
and
color they had.
We had an avocado green car as well. Oh, it's Lindsay.
Oh my God.
Lindsay. We did.
All right.
Okay.
So
Anyway, I just loved camping.
Did you have a time when you like stopped and didn't realize that you were going to stop for a long period of time, and then you're like, I need to get back to that?
Yes,
like, there's
absolutely.
a long break.
Yeah, there was a long break.
Why'd you do that?
Why?
why'd you take a break?
Probably because
You were one of the greatest. What did you do?
you get to a certain age and you have a job, and then you have a child. And-
yeah, those things.
And she wasn't.
She wasn't a camper?
Wait.
She didn't appreciate that she couldn't watch cartoons.
You didn't ask.
You know,
I mean,
when the sun is going down and you're in a tent.
I think you made a
and-
mistake. You asked her.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, hey, her daughter's name is Lauren, and I know Lauren. She didn't ask Lauren. Lauren told her.
Oh, second mistake.
That is what happened.
Okay,
You
so
listened.
Where are the cartoons?
you
Mom?
grow up, you get married, you have a job, you have kids, you know. I mean,
So,
the
yeah.
same reason most people stop camping, because
Not a lot.
life.
Not a lot of camping.
Yeah.
And then, but being with Scott after we were married, and we lived in Colorado for several years.
You lived in Colorado and you weren't camping?
No, we were. That's when I started camping again.
Oh, I was going to say,
Because I also had someone
what a shame.
to share all the duties of camping. Camping with a tent is a lot of work.
Yes.
And I mean, it's one of the things that's so great about it, because you can't think about anything else. All you got to think about is, okay, where am I going to get the firewood? And, you know.
That's easy. You go to the next campsite.
You whispered it.
Yeah.
Tell him to shut up at any moment. Loud and proud.
Pump up that volume there.
I mean, they're going to
We
go
tell
hiking
them
at
that all
sometime,
the
right?
Yeah.
If you
But-
light it fast,
So
you
you're-
can't ask for it back.
Stop, Clint.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
So you're
now I lost
camping
my
in
train.
Colorado in a tent.
Yeah. And it's fun to camp when there's another adult who,
Right.
you know, shares part of the duties and all of that. But, you know, and we did a lot of camping and loved it. But then you get to a certain age, and I remember Scott saying, yeah,
Didn't want to sleep on
this
the
is-
ground.
yeah.
I didn't want to sleep on the ground
Yeah.
anymore. So, but that's when it started.
But you
And-
still, that went on for years. And then you moved to Santa Fe and you guys still camped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a
we
long
did.
time.
But we were camping, but we were also talking more and more about having,
camper.
and having something that we could travel around in, that was easy to sleep in and
Yeah.
close our eyes,
Okay.
and cook and all of that. So then,
Knowing Scott, his conversation, because Scott had a tremendous talent for design, right?
he did, yes.
So, and he loved changing things from this to that. And so I bet part of your talk was, let's buy an old Airstream. Let's turn it into renovate. Let's buy an old Shasta. Let's rebuild it from the inside out. I mean, all of these things. I can just envision those conversations because that's who he was. Was that how that conversation went?
Yeah.
Oh,
And he
I
did,
knew it.
And he did buy an Airstream.
He did?
And his love for space never ceased, but he was so used to redesigning, designing, remodeling a home that a trailer is a totally different thing.
It's a different
This is
animal, yeah.
like- and
Well, yeah.
nothing much happened with the Airstream.
He just couldn't get a handle on how to do it
Yeah,
or where
I
to
don't-
start.
Yeah.
Or every
I think
project
it's
became
just,
do you think it might have been that
he was really intimidated by it.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people want to go that route. How hard can it be? It's not that big.
I think it's hard.
When you start pulling things apart, everything needs to be redone right down to the frame, just like fixing up a car. You think, yeah, I'll just repaint it. It'll be fun. But then you're like, okay, I'll just take this off and redo the brakes, and then the brakes, and then something doesn't work, and then you need a different transmission, and then all of a sudden,
Whoa, that is a jump.
you're all
Brakes
the
to
way
transmission.
down.
She didn't know what she's talking about.
No, she does. That's the deal.
No, I do. How many cars have sat in our garage unfinished? You guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, it was just, it became a bigger project than he could ever tackle.
Well, it did start with an Airstream, and then he did buy a Shasta.
Oh my gosh.
So we had an Airstream and a Shasta.
you were spot on.
I was. Wow. Look at me. Well, like I said, I have known these guys since I was 2.
Oh,
So
so
they
you
have
knew.
been family. I have known Scott for decades upon decades. And, he hasn't actually changed much in all those years. He didn't change.
Yeah.
So,
But
the Shasta didn't get anything done either.
No.
But it was a start. It was a
Did you
hope.
take these out and use them even though they hadn't been renovated or anything? Or did you actually spend any time in them?
Were they usable at all?
Not really.
They were too
Really.
old.
That's a heartbreaker.
The Shasta was really, really rough.
Yeah.
And the Airstream, I think it wasn't going to be fun because it was just too big, too much ugliness inside
No.
to want to pull around.
These are not two conversations that usually go together.
It was just too stinking ugly.
So you're saying the Airstream was just too affordable.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
So
Now, we're going to get into something a little more solemn here because this is how most people's plans start. I mean, together they start planning something, and I would imagine that conversation of remodeling, rebuilding, having a trailer went on for years.
it did.
Years and years.
Because we loved going to national parks, loved going out in the woods.
But you were not camping all this time. You were just
Occasionally, but not very often.
But you were dreaming of camping,
Yes.
and planning to camp, but nothing was really moving forward.
Yeah. And some of that was my fault because I was the one who would handle the finances.
And
So I was, a little hesitant to make what I considered a big investment in this thing that's for fun. It's not a necessary thing.
Yeah.
And it's for fun.
I don't think you understand like how common
That's super
That
common.
is.
that. I mean, like
yeah.
we hear it all the time. These stories of I used to camp, now I don't, and I want to, but
I used to be so fun, so free, but now
it seems-
I value security.
Yeah.
And security has either become the fun game, which isn't that fun, or I'm just dying in my security.
Well, I think the question is always, we are geared, a lot of us are geared towards we need to make money and save money. And so at what point do you invest in something that you really want to do? And when has that become the most valuable place for your money? And it's a hard decision for so many people to spend money on that, especially people who have been frugal for so many years.
And we're raised on cautionary
Did she
tales.
just call you?
Yeah. But we're also raised on cautionary
It's a big
tales.
F word.
And my grandparents, my parents, everyone was there's nothing but cautionary tales. And it's like, this isn't.
You don't want to. You don't want to be
Those
poor
cautionary
when you're
tales
old.
are like based off of whose brother, whose brother-in-law, whose aunt, uncle, or even worse, I mean, just some old wives' tale. And the
The voice in your head.
Yeah, but the statistics aren't really even with all these numerous cautionary tales.
Well, maybe, but when do you ever say, I have enough money? I mean, you always worry that maybe I'll need, maybe this or that will happen, or, I'm getting older and, I'm going to be a fixed income, or, you get all these worries.
well,
and
it's
then
not
you
broken
don't,
then, right?
then you don't do anything for yourself to go out and have fun. So
Did he say something funny?
he
No,
did,
stupid.
he did, but it
No,
was
he
pretty
didn't.
bad.
He said something stupid.
It
We're
was,
all
it was
ignoring
fixed.
him.
It was not broken.
Oh,
Yeah. It was so bad, you didn't catch it.
I actually didn't really hear
I
it
didn't have much
clearly.
time to slip it in there.
I tried to ignore it, okay?
All right, moving on.
So all of these plans went on for years of trying to figure out how to get there. You were worried about spending the money. And then what happened to change your life?
My husband died. Scott died.
And very hard to talk about, I know, but it is a life change that no one plans on and no one expects. But then you're in a situation where, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
And tell me what your thoughts on, changing your life from that point happened. Because again, Cindy, this is a story that we hear a lot. There are so many people in this position where they're like, okay, wait, now I'm alone. Now what do I do? Now I can't do it. And that is common. How did you feel at that point about camping?
Well, it actually took a couple of years to really even think about camping.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think camping would be the first thing you think about.
Right. Understandable. Right. But because you do realize that a lot of things that you do in life might not be as much fun by yourself. right.
So, but then then fast forward a couple more years, and what happened for me was that my daughter had a child, and so voila, I have a granddaughter.
Right.
And and then after you get through that first year of being totally freaked out, because
Sure.
there's this little kid again in your life, and I just, all I could think about was how much I wanted her to be able to go to the mountains, rivers, lakes, go out into the woods and enjoy nature, because that's what was probably one of the best things about my childhood, I think. And so I started thinking again about it, and then, doing research and realizing, I don't have to buy a new product. I can get something that's more affordable for me. And, but it is a thing to share with someone else.
Right.
And anyway,
So what were some priorities on? I mean, when you started going, I need to get back into this. I have a granddaughter. These are things I want to experience again, but also want to share and all that. As you started bringing in all these thoughts together, what kind of format of camping started to materialize, and what features or all that did you start looking for?
well, I definitely wanted something that felt manageable for me, because I mean, if you're dragging a little kid along, they're not going to be much help. So something that I can feel totally confident. And so I never, and it's also part of the experience of being outdoors and camping is that I'm just not the kind of person that wants a big RV. I don't want to feel like, I don't need to say anything more about that. I'm totally happy with very modest sized things. They don't have to be big.
Well,
But,
and you're very conservative.
Yeah.
So that also fits into the budget, the planning. But
And being able to, and the vehicle that I have, I didn't want to go out and have to buy a new vehicle. And I had Scott's old 4Runner, which was in really good shape. And so that took that part of the equation, took care of that part of the equation. I don't need to buy something else to pull a trailer. But anyway, and I've been researching for several years and narrowing down what really appealed to me, and then not that long ago, my daughter had a conversation with me, and she asked me what I was waiting for. She said, Mom, you've been talking about this for 5 or so years now. What are you waiting for? So,
Yeah.
as
you
the mother
and I
who,
have been talking about it for 5 years. And I thought, Cindy's never going to do this.
Did you really think that?
I did think you were never going to do this. We were just going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So
Because we see that all the time.
This is very common.
And do you feel like if you could go back and rewind 5 years, you would tell yourself to just do it sooner? Do you feel like you missed out on camping, or do you feel like you spent the appropriate amount of time researching and making you feel like comfortable with the decision?
So is your question, if we could rewind to 5 years ago, would you
have done it sooner, or would you still wait 5 years to research and do all the stuffs?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't wait 5 years. Maybe 3.
Hey,
this is misconservative.
That's 2 years you would have gotten back on camping.
I'm not impulsive.
That's 2 years.
It's okay if you're not impulsive. So walk me through the things that you worried about.
Number one.
Well,
The biggest thing,
the number one is the financial investment.
just spending the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, to your point, Lindsay, about waiting, the prices would have been half as much if I had waited so long, because everything has gotten so much more expensive.
Yes.
Anyway.
The prices would have been cheaper, because I mean, I've been doing this 26 years now, and I have never seen the prices go down.
They're not going to get
It's never going to get cheaper. So 2 years from now, no matter what the economy looks like, these units will be a little bit more expensive. But
And they hold their value, though.
They do.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you are going to lose 2 years of your life not camping.
Yeah.
So okay, you would have done it sooner. The biggest consideration was financial.
Yeah, that was the biggest.
What's the next thing? Were you worried about camping by yourself?
Yeah.
Like, can I handle this?
Not fearful of being by myself.
Right.
But having to, set up, take
Hitch
down,
it, pull it, operate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you get
when things
past that?
go wrong? If you're by yourself, it's worse than if someone else is with you and they don't know how to do anything. But misery loves
Are
company.
you still worried about that?
I'm still a little worried about it.
Well, what made you less worried?
Well, you guys. I mean, first of all, you guys are just so.
We wouldn't stop pushing you.
Well, yeah, you understand my hesitation. So that's you guys are just so easy to talk to and very, very clear about the fact that you'll help and answer questions and.
Well, there is a lot of resources too.
Well, yeah,
And,
there's a lot online. But it's so much easier, at least for me, to actually talk to somebody than try to, get through all the directions on YouTube of how to do this. And
yes.
Just
Very interesting. I have pointed out to you a couple of times and said, the Aldi system on your trailer is a little complex. So you can watch this piece of this video and it's going to explain to you exactly how it works. And you said, oh no, I don't need to do that. I'll figure it out. And you have been resistant to go online to watch the actual operational videos.
Did I really say that? I said,
Yeah.
oh no, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I will.
And you will.
Stand by that.
Yeah. I just wondered why. Because you seem to be able to shop online. And the reason I bring this up yet again is because this is what we see all the time. And we see this in people that will come in here 6 months after they bought their RV and they are just livid that something isn't working right. And we say, okay, well, let me explain to you how to operate this. Maybe you're not doing something right. And we've had customers that we have sent them something like 5 times. And then they're still just really angry with us. And when we go out there and explain it to them and say, here it is on this thumb drive, if you need a refresher, they're like, oh, okay. And we're like, well, we sent it to you, but you didn't watch it. And they're like, well, yeah, but, and so my question is, why are people who are more than willing to shop online are resistant to learning about their RV online? Why? Because it seems to me video watching is video watching. It's all on YouTube. So,
True.
I mean, pretty much I can learn how to fix my refrigerator on YouTube.
Yeah.
So what is the thinking? Why do you think that is?
We reserve our video watching for entertainment purposes only.
Cat videos.
Ooh, that's it. It's not.
I can only speak for myself in that I don't like asking for help. So it's one of the reasons that I'll read about it or go online or something like that rather than to ask someone first.
So if I send you a link, it doesn't feel like it feels like you're asking for help, or you just wanted everything to stay at a distance because maybe you were a little bit self-conscious.
Am I too close to you right now?
That you didn't know how to things. Yeah. Do you need to scoot over? I mean, we don't want our guests to be uncomfortable.
I do like you, but I want you to be comfortable.
All right.
So, yeah, I just think it's weird. We see that people don't want instructions on video, but they want.
Oh, well, I don't mind it at all.
Okay.
I don't mind it at all.
Okay. So that will help you learn about your trailer more.
It for me, it is easier if someone is standing next to me and talking to me and showing me that,
So if you didn't,
but if you said, here's a link, Cindy, and this will really make it clear, I'd be happy to watch it.
Okay. Well, good to know. Maybe we're not presenting it well. So if you didn't know us so well, do you think you would have bought a trailer?
I probably still would buy a trailer.
Okay.
But it might take me another 5 years to get around to doing it. I don't know. No.
You would miss another 5 years of camping.
And the fact is that my granddaughter is getting to be the age where she can go with me.
Yes.
Up until now, it's like, well, she's too young really anyway to.
So is there anything else you were nervous about or took your time about? We had money, just not knowing if you wanted to do it by yourself, if you could do it by yourself. Is there anything else?
Well, finding one that I like that was in my price range.
Did you get stuck in the loop of like, these are the things I want in a trailer, but I can only pull this much? But these are the things I want in a trailer, but I can only pull this much. That's a loop that people get stuck in.
Okay. And when you say pull, you mean
literal tow.
Yeah. If your towing capacity is a certain level.
That wasn't part of my loop.
That wasn't part of your loop?
It wasn't part of my, downward spiral.
What else are you looking at besides?
I knew that it had to be a lightweight trailer. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get another vehicle.
And she has experience with tent camping, like for the majority of her camping.
Yeah.
So,
but
features are just niceties from there on up.
But then once I really decided that I was going to come look at one, and then you start realizing that there's a lot that you don't realize goes with all of putting it together. You have a vehicle, you have a trailer, or you're going to buy a trailer, but it isn't as easy as just.
Now, how do you connect the two? There's other mechanical pieces,
right? And then the stuff that you need to go camping, and
so then I've been intimidated by that. But then once I see how it works, it's not
intimidating. You got this.
It's not hard. Not hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you have had you did camp for the past few days in your trailer.
Yeah.
You're leaving today to head home, and you're going to stop along the way and camp one night, right? Most likely?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. What's your worry when you come to the campground? What's your first biggest worry? I know.
Backing up.
Okay. Again, do we have to repeat that? We hear this every day. Backing up. So I find this interesting because I went to help you back up at the campsite nearby and you didn't need me. Really. You didn't need me.
Well, fortunately, it's a small trailer and
Have we even said what you got?
Yeah.
this episode?
Tab 400.
Okay.
Yeah. She said it earlier.
new camp. Yeah.
But, you know, when we were talking the other day, you said one of the biggest things that makes you nervous is if people are waiting on you,
Yeah.
you know, and they can't go until you back in.
Well, that's why
So-
that's why you bring snacks.
Yeah. I mean,
Just toss them
Bring
some
some
snacks
popcorn
yeah.
and some folding chairs. Just
Yeah.
make a whole
let's practice
theater of
right
it.
now, okay? All right.
What?
You ready?
Which
You're
way I
ready to
turn the
back
wheel?
up? No. You're ready to back up, right?
Okay.
You look over and there's somebody standing there and they're driving their car and they're waiting for you to back up, okay?
Okay.
So practice with me.
Yeah.
Guys, you need to watch the video to catch that. That's not
Practice.
Okay. Practice
That's what
with
we
me.
do. You can do that at first.
Okay.
But
Do you know what the
if someone is mean to you, and then just back up.
all right, use your imagination.
And they probably are in the campsite right next to you.
Ruh-roh. Okay, but a more common scenario is that you're backing up. You've had to pull up a couple of times because you haven't quite got the hang of this, or you haven't got the hang of this at all and you're struggling.
I don't care if you do have the hang of it. If you need to pull forward a little bit and readjust, who cares? Do that.
Who cares? But guess what
Professionals
happens?
do that too.
What happens more than anything? Somebody comes over, knocks on your window and says, do you want some help?
Do you want me
You're
to do
right.
that for you?
That's what happens.
And now let's practice.
And
Get away from my vehicle.
You're good at that, Lindsay.
I know, right? I've had lots of practice.
What I tell you, the thing that irritates me, and I'll just tell you right off the bat, is when I pull up, pulling a trailer, and maybe it's a big one, and I pull up and I'm kind of readjusting to back into a space. And before I even try one time, the guy's knocking on my window saying, you need me to do that for you? And I'm like, excuse me?
Let me try first.
I didn't. What? And there is an assumption, and we haven't even said single women camping here in this podcast,
No, we haven't.
but it happens. So that guy comes up and just says, hey, you need some help?
And to be fair, they're trying to help.
And to be fair, they're trying to help.
But
There is a unreasonable assumption made there. And so that is when I do not take Lindsay's advice.
Suggestion.
And I say, no, thank you. I think I've got it, but I appreciate you offering.
Yeah.
And if I was nervous, I would say, yes, please. That would be so helpful.
Yeah.
So there is always somebody at campsites to help you. And you know, if you really get stuck, almost every campsite either has like somebody at the front, or there is
Park
a
host.
state park host that can come help you.
You're
And
absolutely right.
you just, I mean, I don't want anybody, and this is not a woman problem. Men can't back up either. They are not born with the genetic makeup to be able to back up. I'm just telling you.
yeah, they have it magnets in their nose that help them.
No.
That's what my cousin told me.
Cindy, don't look at me.
no,
I've been here 5 years. I've recorded 130 some odd episodes.
They have magnets in their nose that helps them with direction and backing up.
Oh, geez.
That's what somebody told me.
So everybody needs help backing up. But that is a number one intimidation, I think, to camping and to especially women buying a trailer.
Yeah.
So, you know what I learned? This is kind of on the same vein, which I think is interesting, and I'll make it really brief, or Clint's going to cut it out, which is when
I'm not going to take the time to cut it out.
when men apply for jobs, do you know if they think they can kind of do maybe one of the things on the list of 10 requirements, they're going to apply for that job. If women can't master all 10 of them, they don't apply for the job. And I think that is relating to trailers. We want to be sure we can master everything.
That's true. I do.
And-
That's what I feel like I want to be confident about every aspect of how to operate this.
I don't know. I mean, I think men want to master everything too. It's just that we want to have the thing in hand so we can go ahead and get started learning it to master it.
Or you think that you don't want to tell somebody you haven't mastered it, so you just fake it.
And
that's just true with backing up.
There may be some fake it till you make it, but there's also people who are realistic and say you cannot master a skill. You cannot pick up a skill. Skills require repetition.
Yeah.
Right. And I am not saying that the way women do that is, and this is such a generality, guys.
Oh, we've been in generality land.
There is so many, like a gazillion exceptions. So don't nail me on that one. But I don't think wanting to master everything before you jump in is necessarily the best way to do it. It's just some people do have that mindset, and that will keep you from buying a trailer.
Yeah. You're right, PJ. Yeah.
And that's a shame because you don't know everything until you do it. So you just don't. You just don't.
No one wants to be a beginner.
When you first arrived and you said, yeah, I'm going to hook up and take this trailer camping. And then I said, okay, well, you'll want to consider a weight distribution. You'll need electric brake control. You're like, okay, no. I don't care. Yeah, just whatever. I don't know what that is, but fine. And yeah, I was so proud of you because I know you like to be owner of your domain. And if you're not owner of your domain, just ask for help. Yeah. So anyway, what's the second thing? If you worry about backing up, what's the next thing you'd worry about when you camp on your way home from here today?
Plus I got to get gas too. I got to pull through a gas station.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, that still makes me nervous.
Does it really?
No, I'm not trying to scare you, but
she has this panic look on her face.
No, it's not that. Oh my gosh. It's not scary at all. But yeah, I definitely will keep my eye out before I need to get gas.
Heck yeah, that's just smart.
For like the best gas station.
Yeah.
And there are plenty.
Yeah.
I never noticed how roomy gas stations are until I have a trailer and I'm like, oh, actually that one would be just fine. Oh yeah, I can totally do that one. You just pull right in and then there's plenty of room to go around. Yeah. And I saw you back up in that parking lot that we were in or do that U-turn. Oh, and gas stations have way more room than that parking lot. It is.
That's why
it makes me nervous too, but it's not. You can do that.
But that's a fear of mine too sometimes, especially with a big trailer. And that's where truck stops are nice sometimes.
Big travel centers.
Yeah, the big places.
Flying J's and Buc-ee's and
I like the Walmart or H-E-B gas stations because they're kind of out at the end of their parking lot.
Yeah.
So you've kind of got a runway to be sure that you're just going straight. The hard part is when you have to curve and get in line. But if you get a straight run, it's easier.
And you're on vacation time, hopefully. So take your time. You have an eye out for the spot that's going to be easier to access and easier to.
And if you need to wait for that spot, wait for that spot.
Sure. Just it's a lot of it's still mindset, whether it be backing or
it is
refueling or not, just mindset and patience.
Totally. And don't you think with some of these things that people who are new to trailering and towing a trailer start thinking, oh gosh, I can't do this. Everybody else can do this, but I can't do this.
But that's true,
not true.
And that's how we feel. That's a feeling that stops us in so many pursuits as humans. And the fact of the matter is, whatever it is you're trying to do that looks so hard, you're one of the probably 20% who will ever try it.
Yeah. And
because the rest of them are either not in that realm, it's not going to be on their radar, or they're in the group that's just frozen. They can't.
Well, I can tell you, my husband, when I met him, he was a truck driver and he was one of the best. He could back into the tightest spaces, scared the bejesus out of me lots of times because he would have 6 inches on each side. Didn't bother him a bit. But sometimes when we're towing our trailer, it's a tight space and we get stuck in some situation with this big trailer. And he's like, okay, a little nervous. Don't talk to me now. I got to concentrate. Yeah. Because you have to pay attention. Well, I mean, of course you do.
Well, it's your thing. It's your camping trailer. Yes. It's kind of, particularly the one that y'all have, is beautiful.
Yeah, but it's not tiny.
And you're
No, it's
on
not.
you're on your way to an adventure. You don't want to wreck it on your way in, or just when you arrive. There's so many things, and
Bump into something.
and you're right. He was a truck driver. What about the fear of, have I lost it?
Did I tell you my really skilled husband at driving hit a tree? He hit a tree with a camper.
What was the tree saying to him?
And somebody
Man, I would go after that tree.
was spotting for him.
Was it you?
No. But he forgot. I mean, trailers have 4 corners. I know this is revelation, but trailers have 4 corners, and he was worried about the back because long trailers have tail swing behind the rear wheels.
Oh, yeah.
He forgot the front corner.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
He forgot the front corner.
It was like a reverse jackknife.
Yeah,
the far leading edge.
and the front corner caught a limb.
Yeah.
So it happens to the most experienced people,
Sure.
who are really good at it. And
Did he find out that it could be repaired?
I don't think he really thinks it did much damage. I didn't exactly point it out to him, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll get it repaired as soon as our fiberglass guy gets around to it. but yeah, that happens. So my only point is, yeah, you're going to be nervous about that, but that's not something that should ever probably completely go away. People pulling trailers, you have to be well aware and conscious.
You can do way
of what's
more
around
damage by not living your life.
you.
Way more damage.
Why?
by
And you know what?
not trying.
Clint.
Yes,
Oh my God, that is so profound.
I'm done.
I know.
You're welcome.
He's out of here. He doesn't say profound things very often. We probably need to put that in a loop. But really, that's what we're all about
do
here.
way more damage by I wasn't
Not
even
living your
listening.
life.
Oh, Lindsay tuned
I'll
out.
release this episode.
I did tune
in a
out.
few
You were
days.
talking for a long time, and my brain just
Sorry.
shuts off.
You can listen back to it.
But yeah, so congrats for taking that leap, even though you're scared of getting gas.
She's not scared. She's nervous. There's a difference.
Okay.
Well.
Yeah, okay.
See, I ain't scared.
Self-conscious. All right, scared. So is there anything else that really makes you have pause? Do you feel confident connecting at a campsite?
If you take a puppy, you will have paws.
Oh,
And they're adorables. Are you taking a puppy?
Puppy pose.
Oh, tell us about the puppy.
Get a puppy.
Yeah, stop on your way out. You know what? The Williamson County Regional Animal Shelter has a very large parking lot. You would be able to turn around in there.
And they have
yeah,
very
that's
large and very
true.
small puppies.
And they have free
Yes.
dog adoptions this weekend.
oh my word.
Yes, see? Yeah, a few
Get a camper,
days.
get a puppy. Oh my God.
How to solve your camping alone problems. Get a puppy.
Okay.
Do you know 80% of RVers travel with pets?
Yeah, what are you, that 20%?
Yeah.
You're also the 20% of campers who will not have a camper full of dog hair.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
there
true.
you go.
That's true.
All right. God, poor Cindy. We won't even let her talk.
well, I don't know if I answered your question.
I don't know what.
Didn't,
Did I
because
have
we
a question?
Yeah, I think you did, but
You had a
Anything
question
else?
and then pause. Anything else that makes you pause?
So fluffy.
oh, there is the whole aspect of I put so much energy and time into thinking about what I wanted. Now that I'm getting it, I have to think about, where do I park it?
Oh yeah.
And it is because I'm not in a situation. I don't have a garage.
Do you have an HOA?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She is the HOA.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Cindy has a compound.
I
Okay.
don't. No, I don't have the whole compound.
You a slumlord?
No, but you are the compound.
Wow, this just sounds like you're
I
saying,
know.
I am the empire.
I
I
am
am the
Groot.
state.
How would you describe your compound?
Oh, did you keep on using this word?
Stop. Okay. we don't care. We don't care.
Oh no.
I mean, I care, personally, but the people listening to this podcast do not care.
Probably don't care.
Well, just get a storage place.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Are
And I'm going to
you?
get insurance. I'm going to get insurance too.
I have a two-parter
good.
question. Are you going to name your camper?
Yeah, I might. Now that you mentioned it,
You definitely should. But like, just
Give it time. 5 years
give
or
it
so.
time. Not 5 years.
3 years.
Are you afraid
Of the
or
dark.
nervous or anything? Are you nervous that you won't like camping anymore? Are you nervous that you spent 5 years researching this and picking out the right trailer, and then you go and do a few camping trips and you just are like, I don't like it?
I've thought about it. I don't think that that's going to happen,
Well, that's good.
but I have thought about it.
Do you still like camp food?
Do I still like
Camp food. Yes.
Hot dogs,
Eating outside.
s'mores.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be fine. Because you get to have camp food when you're camping.
It's the food you eat while you're camping. It's camp food.
It's deep.
I see it as opening
We're going left.
a new door in my life
Uh-huh.
because I can, even if I don't bring my granddaughter and I go out on my own, there is a camaraderie. When you go someplace and you meet other campers, it'll open up some possibilities for me in terms of just, reaching out and meeting new people.
Connecting to people.
Because
Absolutely.
as you get older, your world contracts. And so and there's so many places in the United States that I would love to see. That
Well,
I
you
haven't
live in a
seen.
great launching off part
Yeah.
of
You do.
the country, so
But I'm excited about it, and I think the more confidence I build with, setting up all of that, then the more I'll just want to take off.
Well, we're going to go ahead and give out your cell phone number on the podcast so that anybody who is having these kinds of doubts can just contact you and you can walk them through the next 5 years of their lives.
We need a picture of that
You're
face.
not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I don't have your cell phone number, else I would give it out right now.
We'll just give out Lindsay's cell phone number and she can contact you. Okay. Well, last but certainly not least, any advice you would give to somebody who is worried about camping, they're researching and they're trying to figure out if they should do this, if they are in the beginning stages of trying to figure it out, what would you say?
I actually would say, don't be in a rush.
Okay.
Because then I think you're not likely to make a big mistake. And so, but
Don't be
that's
in a
what-
rush.
Don't be in a rush.
Okay.
like don't pull the trigger on the first trailer you see, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, and I that really has helped me. I know it's taken a long time.
Yeah, but now you feel confident
Yeah.
because you've done the research. That totally makes sense. So maybe don't be in a rush, but don't wait 5 years. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the other one don't go on any podcasts at short notice?
No, it's don't go chasing waterfalls.
I mean,
Oh, are we going to have a
please
song?
stick to the lakes and the streams that you're used to.
Yes.
Oh, geez. On that note, I want to say thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
We do kind of put people through the ringer when we bring them on the podcast, and you have been a great sport today. You have won What's Behind Door Number 3, which
There's
is
2 doors.
a
PJ.
2018 Tab 400.
Yay! Also, you still have to pay for it. Yay!
These prices are weird.
What kind of game show is this? Well, this is fun.
Well, I hope that I inspired someone.
Yeah, I hope so too, because, that's our job. We believe everybody ought to be out there living the dream and doing what it is that will give them more experiences when it's time.
Very good. Very good. Everybody, thank you again for joining us. Cindy, thank you for hopping in and for being friends with PJ.
I get a free lunch too.
Oh, yeah. There's the prize.
It's all about the food.
So everybody, thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. Check out the show notes at rvsmalltalk.com. Look us up on YouTube, RV Small Talk Podcast, or on socials. We are there. Check out the Texas. Check out the Texas
Can you say
trailer.
that?
No, because it's
tiny. Yeah, everyone knows our lunch is waiting on us. So
Yes.
jump in.
Texas Tiny Trailer Rally.
And we didn't even mention that we have a truck camper rally as well.
No, we do have a truck camper rally. It's Texas Truck Camper Rally. You can look that up too.
Pick your flavor, look it up, and join us.
Yep.
There you got it. Okay. Until next time, we'll see you next time.
Okay, lunchtime, guys. Let's go.
Okay.